Welcome, everybody, to the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast, where we explore the exciting world of artificial intelligence and its impact on marketing. Every week, we feature in-depth conversations with industry leaders and technology experts and marketing professionals. Our guests share their insights and experiences on how AI is transforming marketing and providing businesses with a competitive edge, keeping you up to date on the latest trends and best practices in AI-powered marketing. Now, whether you're new to the world of AI or an experienced professional, the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast is the perfect place to learn about the latest advancements and how they can be applied to your business. Join us each week, and now let's explore the exciting intersection of AI and marketing together. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast. My name is Matthew Manyak, your co-host, here with Tony Aponte, your other co-host and co-founder of Noble Vision AI. How you doing this evening, Tony?
Good. How are we doing today, Matthew?
Doing good, doing good. Blessed and highly favored, as a buddy of mine likes to say.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this, Tyler, drop a comment. But no, so we've got a really good episode in the works for you guys today that we think is going to be really valuable for you. But and although we are always talking about the technical side and the technological side of these new AI tools and this technological revolution, we wanted to take today's episode and delve a little bit deeper into more of the personal and the human side of AI, because ultimately it's humans that are using these AI tools. Am I right in that?
That's right. Yep.
Unless you're Auto GPT, but that's another
Right.
episode.
Yeah.
Again, but that's another episode. But in essence, in today's episode, we want to talk to you guys, our listeners, about the burning question of, is your business ready for AI automation? Dun, 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 dun. It's the question of the day. It's the question of the day, because while there is this vast opportunity in front of us with these tools, with these programs, with this software that's out there, there's going to be, we've already been seeing a fair amount of pushback on AI generated material. And I think that a lot of that has to do, in some ways, we look back to things like Y2K, right? There was this fear that this technology was going to like black out, and it was going to leave us in the dark. And I think that that'll only happen if we let it. And that's just my personal opinion on this, but looking at the grand scheme of things, right? Is your business ready for AI automation? What does that mean? How we're going to break it down in today's episode is we're going to look at three different areas that can be focused on with AI. And that's you as the business owner, your business as an entity itself, and your employees. Because if you're running a small business, it's more than likely you've got some sort of VA or assistant or team of employees, depending on the size of your business. And you'll need to consider the implications of AI to the work that they do as well. And so to start us off, kind of going into this whole process of are you ready? Talking about you, right? And there's a lot of different things that need to be considered here, but the main one is are you ready as an individual to take advantage of these tools? And for some people, that's not an easy question to answer, and it's not. For me, it was almost a no-brainer because of how involved in my business that I am, and how the processes of my business are very technologically centered. But obviously, there's pros and cons to it, right? There's other fees that I got to pay and things like that. But I approached this like when I first interacted with ChatGPT, I was like, this is an amazing technology. I can see so many use cases with it, and I just dove in headfirst, both feet at the same time, kind of deal. And it's radically transformed the way that I do business. How about you, Tony? We're having this podcast for a reason, but like looking early on to when ChatGPT kind of first came to the forefront and we started seeing more of these AI tools, like what was kind of your thought process on it?
Oh man, I'm one of my biggest things is I love to look for ways to speed up the process, how not to spend so much time on doing some things that I just hate doing. And whenever I started playing around with ChatGPT and I started seeing what I could do with it and how fast I was getting some of the things done, I was all over it. I mean, that to me was because because there's a saying out there that time is money, right? And that's all I think about is like the less amount of time I have to spend on doing certain things, the more time I have to focus on the bigger things. And that's just the mentality that I have. And it's for me, that's just that one part has been a huge benefit into creating things. It allows you to spend more time on the creative side. If you're a creator, you don't want to be sitting there and spending all kinds of time trying to write the copy on something or always writing up the articles or whatever. You want to keep coming up with ideas, right? You want to be the innovator. You want to be the one that drives growth within your company or whatever by coming up with ideas to make things better. And so that's kind of like the way where I kind of came in, and to me, that was just like it just opened up the door to a million possibilities.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. And I like I'm right there with you. Right. I can't count the amount of hours that AI has saved me and the amount of mental exhaustion that AI has saved me. And what I would say though is I'm sure that there are going to be people that are listening to this podcast that are just kind of starting to get familiar with the idea of AI and really what it can do. And then there's going to be people that might be listening to podcasts that are coming at this with a bit more of a fearful tone, or pessimistic tone. Which I mean, the internet was the same way back when that first came out, right? Um, but like when it comes to these tools, it becomes a question of, well, just like you said, how much time are you willing to expend on certain tasks, and to what extent are you going to fully automate with this technology? Because we say automation a lot, but that doesn't always have to mean fully automate, right? In the sense of just using, again, AI copyright as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though there are ways to train the AI models to speak and think, or to speak and write like you, or to match your tone, match your writing style, and however you want to piece that content together from a formatting standpoint, because it can do that. There's still the aspect that you don't have to do it that way, right? As a video editor, right, my way of editing is going to be different than the next guy's, and then theirs is going to be different from the next guy's.
Mm-hmm.
So for those that are kind of entering this frontier with maybe they're having a little bit of a heart palpitation because it's more, it's an alien territory to a lot of people. I would just say, think of it that way, right? You don't have to dive in feet first like we did, but given the trajectory of the marketplace, these are tools, and this is knowledge, and experience that you as a business owner are probably going to need to have in order to remain competitive in the marketplace.
Yep. Yeah, and as kind of going back a little bit to what we were just, at the beginning of the podcast, it's all about what kind of mindset do you have, right? It's as a business owner, I would hope that the majority of you that are listening or watching this podcast, I would hope that the majority of our audience has the growth mindset, right? And it's about applying different strategies within our own businesses to help us grow. And this is where AI literally comes in to play tremendously on providing you with the asset that you can use, which is custom to your business, right? To help you grow your business. And there's a lot of business owners out there. They're going to sit there and say, oh, I don't want to I don't want to integrate AI. I don't want to use it because I feel it's going to cheat, the system, or it's going to cheat my customers out of who I really am, and there's all kinds of reasons, right? But at the end of the day, it's it's a it's a piece of technology that is going to be here, and it's here to stay. There's just no way that it's not going anywhere. And so once we are able to accept the fact that it's here, now it's like, okay, how can I use it for my business? What is it? And here's where you're going to have to kind of step back a little bit and take your own personal opinions out of the equation and look at your whole process of your business and look at some of those leaks that you have, whether it's systems, whether it's, onboarding, whether it's customer relationship, whether it's data, mining to make sure that you understand all the data about your business. Where are some of those areas that you can actually integrate it where maybe you feel like it's not going to interfere with some of your personal opinions and beliefs, where it's still going to you're still going to benefit from it.
Absolutely. And I think that that's a great spot to segue into the next piece of it, which is your business ready, right? And so when we ask the question of, is your business ready for AI automation, what do we mean there? And I think that in order for your business to be ready for AI automation, you first have to have systems in place. If you are a startup that is just finding its brand voice and just kind of getting out into the foray of running the business at all, with the exception of if you're an AI automation agency, then you're probably already familiar with this. But when it comes down to the majority of businesses that might be starting up, that there's a ramp up time that needs to be accounted for as far as getting your core processes in place, because you can't automate if you don't have the roadmap to implementation in place first, right? Automation is what comes in after you've gotten those core systems in place, got those work processes, those standard procedures that are in place, and the business on paper can be optimal, or at the very least functional. And that's from there is where you can start to look at, okay, I mean, just using social media as an example, right? Leveraging ChatGPT to take the time out of hiring a copywriter to do a lot of the copy development, right? And from that standpoint, looking at, I mean, another thing to consider could be, if you're still wanting to work with a copywriter, making sure that that copywriter is able to, like, that they have the experience with AI in order to make sure that time is still saved, because that's ultimately the main goal of automation is to save time, to increase your bottom line while decreasing your overhead, right? So we're looking at just continuous optimization with this technology.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's be frank here. The word automation is not new to us. The word automation has been around for quite some time, and you think about all the CRM tools out there, right? What are they there for? It's to be able to automate certain areas of your business, right? The minute you're a website visitor comes to your website and they fill out your contact form, that information goes into a certain database, right? And it allows you to do certain things with email marketing. There's a lot of email marketing platforms out there that are already are automated, just like HubSpot. It's all set up through workflows. So whenever you have all these different tools already set up with automation, it's not the automation really that should scare us, because we should already be familiar. Now it's just a matter of integrating another piece of the puzzle that's actually going to allow us to even run more efficient automated systems, right? And so it's to enhance what we already have in place. HubSpot right now has their own chat system. It's called ChatSpot. And you can go into the dashboard and get all kinds of reports now based on your team's sales. You can get reports on what how many leads you brought in last month, or even down to the last week. So it's about getting reports a lot faster versus having someone spend the time trying to gather all the data, downloading Excel spreadsheets, downloading it, putting together a report to be able to turn into the marketing officer, right? Whereas now you can go into the chat system, it spits it out for you. Okay, great, I got the information. You're done.
Absolutely. And also too, I think a big, I mean, this could be an actual thing, or maybe it's just a perception thing on my side, but I think that the thing that has introduced the most, I say, concern slash unease or confusion is the AI buzzword, because
Right.
like we look at like automation just as a concept, right? It's been around for like decades, centuries, however long you want to call it, right? The car automated horseback, the computer, just a technology, automated a lot of things, right? Excel spreadsheets, automated paper spreadsheets. Siri automated Google, technically, right? Like
Right.
vocal assistants on your phones, automated internet searching,
Right.
right? So the just like you said, the concept of automation is nothing new, but I think the concept of AI, or at least what most people believe AI to be, is the root cause of a lot of I say the disconnects in the conversation around it, right?
Right.
Because for a lot of people who grew up on the Terminator movies, and they're like, Skynet's coming to life.
Right.
And I know a few people that are going to listen to this and hear that, and they're going to be like, Matthew, I hear you, I hear you. But um, but I mean, again, it's a valid concern, but I don't think it's a valid concern for where we are at right now with the technology.
Right.
I think that we need to look at AI as a concept, as what it is, and that is a series of algorithms at its core, essentially, that are all working together to create a unified system that can automate these tasks. And if we
Hmm.
look at it that way, right, at least that has helped me to kind of get a better understanding of the core elements of this technology.
Yeah, definitely. And it's everyone is at a point right now that this is all new to everybody.
Yep.
We just, Matthew and I have just decided to just jump in head first and just like grasp it, with both hands, just because we see the value in it. And now it's our turn to help you guys understand the what AI brings to the table, so that way you can kind of to help you eliminate some of those limiting beliefs that you have right now, and to understand that this is something that could literally just help your business and take it to the next level. As as being a business owner for since 2001, and as a contractor, right? It was having to try to run everything yourself as a business owner, especially if you're a business solo business owner, you have like two or three guys that work for you, right? And you're trying to keep the guys busy by bringing in jobs to try to keep them employed and be able to afford to pay them. And not only that, but you're also running other things that you have to do to make sure that the business keeps running, right? It's tiring, right? Whenever you're sitting there, you're trying to wear a million different types of hats because you have to. You're the owner, and you technically cannot afford to bring on someone that you can hire full time to either take care of the books, or someone that can sit there and manage all the marketing for you, or someone that can sit there and be customer support. It's a lot when you're the one that has to do it all. And so whenever I look back, right, I look back at those days, I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish I had this, because I mean, I would have less sleepless nights knowing that I had something at this available to me to really systemize everything that I've got going on within the business, where I'm not stressing out so much. And so if there's anything, uh, if there's anything about this that I think you as a business owner should look at it as, this is the mega aspirin that you can take and eliminate all those headaches. right?
100%, 100%. Like, yeah, no, I mean, I was gonna say, I personally just had an experience with AI uh yesterday, and at the time of this recording, that like it happened, and I had to pause. Like, I lost my morning because I just kind of started going down the rabbit hole of this is a major opportunity that could literally change the game of everything that I do. Right. And so, like, in some ways, it was an existential crisis, but at the same time, it was like, no, this is enabling technology. This is like, I'm still speechless about it. Right. Like Tony knows exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're listening to this, go check out my Facebook, because there's a video on there that will absolutely like blow your mind. Um, because it like we talk about cloning ourselves with technology, right? And it's like if you see the video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But like it, again, it's going to radically transform how I do business as a videographer, right? It's going to radically transform the capabilities that I can tap into with this new technology. And part of that is because, just like Tony said, we're diving in phase first, right, to all of this. Um, and it's truly a rabbit hole, and, like, we are not masters at this. This technology is so new that like, if someone tells you that they're a master at it, then you should only take that with a very, very small grain of salt, because with this technology being so new, everything that Tony and I have experienced and gone through and learned about I don't know about you, Tony, but I feel like it's only just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, every time I, dive into doing some work and I'm using ChatGPT or Claude, or whatever, and some of the stuff that I get back, it was like, oh my goodness, this I would have never got this kind of output last week, right? It's just getting. I still can't fathom really where we're going to be at. You hear me say it all the time, right, Matt? I was like, can you just imagine what it's going to be like a year from now? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it's going to be ridiculous.
absolutely, absolutely. Awesome, awesome. And I think, again, just to tie this all together, with the last thing being are your employees ready, right?
Right.
Because we talk about limiting beliefs, and we talk about this concept of cloning yourself, or AI empowered individuals taking jobs of non AI empowered individuals. We got to look at it as are your employees ready for AI automation?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that can be looked at in a combination of the previous two. Are you ready, and is your business ready? Your employees are the human part of your business. And so you got to look at, do they have any of those same limiting beliefs? And if they do, then look at making that decision of if it's right for the business to keep them, or see what is the root cause of that. Because just like we talked about, some of it might be, that you feel that by working with AI, you're firing someone, or you're replacing someone's job and someone's livelihood. But you know there's ways to integrate these systems to save you time, to increase your employees' efficiency and productivity with these tools, provided that they know how to use them, right? So it's not that we are that this technology is here to replace people. It's here to empower people, I believe.
Yep. Oh yeah. I mean, I was getting ready to just say that the same exact thing. If anything, as a business owner, I think this is an opportunity for you to look at your employees and use this as a way to empower them. And not only that, but you as a business owner, start really going into to get to know what your employees' skill sets are, because they may have a skill set that you don't even know about that could be of benefit to your business, where they're doing some mundane things. They're wasting their time doing certain tasks that can be done by AI, where they can now be of much more value to your business. So, if anything, I think this era that we're in right now, it's a great time for a business owner to really think about what AI is going to allow them to do, and it's going to allow them to really, if they want to really tap into what their team has to offer, is should empower them to really dive into their employees and really find out what they can bring to the table.
Absolutely, absolutely. Awesome, awesome. Well, I feel like we've covered a lot today, right? And again, I think that it was good to have this one because we're as we delve deeper into this technology, it's going to become more important that we consider the human aspects of this and how
Mhm.
it's going to impact us for the better.
Yeah.
But also not shy away from the other side of it and talking about the ethical implications of this technology because that's also a very important consideration that needs to be had when implementing these tools into your day to day. And
Mhm.
so I would just say, yeah, for those of you that are new to joining us, we encourage you to go back and check out our previous episodes to kind of get caught up on the technology that's available and how it can really be applied to your processes. And for those of you that have been with us, I just want to take a moment again to say thank you for joining us for this journey. It's a rabbit hole, but it's also a wonderland, right? So
Yep.
um, I think that there, just like we keep saying, there's a lot of great and amazing and exciting things ahead, and we can't wait to be able to experience and uncover what is out there with you guys. So thank you again.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, I know that this one was a little bit more on the deep down Tony Robbins, you know, more, you know, personal level. But let us know if what you thought about this podcast, you know, if you got a lot of value out of this, because that's what we're here to really help you guys along the journey. Cause you know what, we're on that same journey with you guys. And so we want to make sure that we're kind of like your beacons of light into helping you understand all this stuff around AI and automation, because it's a hot topic, and there's all kinds of topics running all over the place on this. I'm sure if any of you have even delved a little bit into AI automation as far as conversation wise, I guarantee your Facebook feed is swamped with AI posts. So all those ads and everything. So it can be very overwhelming, and so that's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys along this journey, and let us know if what you thought about this post. If you want more of this kind of post, and just let us know.
Awesome, awesome. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again for joining us for another episode of the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast. That wraps us up for the night, and we will see you in the next one.